Good morning. Let's see if I can get this right today. Today is September 18th, and the Ministry of Justice a few hours ago announced that they would be spending an additional £5 million this year on issues around rape and sexual abuse, looking for specialist support. And on the surface, great! More money for victims of domestic violence and sexual abuse and rape. Always a good thing. And then I did the math, because that's who I am. There are about 85,000 women in the UK that are raped every year. So, in theory, doing basic math, £5 million divided equally among 85,000 women. You know what that breaks down to? Less than 60 quid a woman. To be exact, it breaks down to £58 per victim of rape and sexual abuse. That's the big Ministry of Justice headline today. They are spending an additional £58 per victim of rape and sexual abuse, providing specialist support. Realistically, given how much support like counseling and therapy costs, this is about an hour. An hour of therapy to talk about being raped or suffering sexual abuse. This isn't a headline, particularly when you think about how many millions of pounds infrastructure such as sticks and bricks, new buildings, new roads, and flying taxis, which a boy seems to think is something to research. That money needs to be used to keep our women safe, to get them back in the economy, to get them to be able to come up with brilliant ideas, and to get over the trauma of being raped by men. £5 million is absolute foiled candy handouts. And we're supposed to be thankful. Jen Selby over on Twitter, who is running against Mark Fields in the next general election, immediately called it pre-election propaganda, and I absolutely agree with her. Why is it that again and again we are supposed to either say nothing when there are government cuts towards women's services, because don't forget this $5 million has been after austerity and after numerous cuts and after a pause was granted last week that would not allow the domestic abuse bill to go through because we are stopping Parliament. Why are we expected to be happy about that or say nothing about that and somehow be thankful for an additional £58 spent on victims every year? What about, I don't know, stopping rapists? What about putting these women into long-term trauma therapy so that they can address their issues over and over when they are up late at night a year later, 6 months later, 3 years later, because it's trauma that they thought was done because they have reached the end of the payments that they are allowed, or what public services are allowed, comes back because it isn't properly processed. And I have yet to see a single argument about how victims of trauma are taken out of the economy. The collective loss we feel when someone is depressed. Not just feel with emotions, but feel in terms of opportunity and in terms of economic loss to the communal economy as a whole. £5 million is not enough, and I am not thankful for it, particularly when this government refuses to hold its own prime ministers and leaders accountable for their violent actions. End of story. Means very little on the side of people like Martfield and O'Mara having power and not being held accountable. Yeah. That's all I've got. It's a quick one today. I am headed into rehearsal and had to get this in because I promised you I let you down on Sunday, but I promised I would do these vlogs every day in September, regardless of if the Women's Equality Party were doing an election or not. So I'm here. Drop me a line if you see any events that you would like me to talk about. I would love to hear from you. And remember, you are precious, you are loved, and you contain multitudes. Bye.